Hi, I am Gunnar. I am a trainee in software technology. I live in Netherlands. Today, I will talk to you about the internship and scholarship programs at CERN. Despite the popularity of the program, there are not good posts about the application process, the internship, or the projects of the CERN on the internet. So I want to cover all questions about it just in one video. I will tell you both my own advice and the advice from a CERN supervisor who involved in the selection process. CERN is located on the border of France and Switzerland. They focuses on particle physics mostly. Their goal is to discover what the universe was made of and how it works. They have lots of discoveries actually, but the most famous ones are World Wide Web and Higgs boson. I don't want to talk about CERN more because it is a very deep topic, and if we dive into the video will go to forever. I will put some interesting videos link on the description below about CERN, and I highly recommend to watch them. There are many programs available at CERN currently. For example, Marie Curie PhD program, doctoral programs, fellowship programs, administrative and technical student programs, and etc. But there's a problem. These programs are only for the citizens of a CERN member country. If your country is not a member of CERN, and you cannot apply these programs, I'm sorry. And I will share the list of the member countries in the description below too, and you can check if your country is member or not. However, CERN has two internship programs, and students from all over the world can apply them. They are summer student program and Openlab summer student program. The difference between them is that Openlab summer student program focuses on specific topics, especially machine learning and artificial intelligence projects, but summer student program focuses on broader topics. If you want to participate in Openlab internship program, you need experience in artificial intelligence and machine learning, or at least you have to join courses, online courses, for example, before the internship. If you have experience in these areas, you will be much closer to get acceptance from the Openlab. Another difference is that Openlab program accepts from the students only computing field because they mostly focuses on ML and AI projects, but summer student program accepts from physics, mathematics, engineering and computer science students. During your internship at CERN, you will work on IT projects, participate in hackathons, workshops, seminars and trainings, lectures by CERN experts, and you can visit the experiment area. I mean, you can visit to the area of detectors. Actually, I didn't have this chance because my internship program was remote, and it happened in 2020 in the mid of a corona crisis, but I think it is really good experience if you have a chance. In addition, you can visit different companies in Switzerland. For example, I have an acquaintance from 2019 generation. She attended to IBM Zurich on the year of her attendance. CERN financially supports the students at a very good level. You will receive a 90 Swiss franc per calendar day, and this amount is the amount that tax is deducted. If you are not a wasteful person, you can back to your country with a pocket full. And after traveling in Switzerland, after eating high quality food and buying gifts for your loved ones. CERN will cover your travel expenses, also provide you with health insurance, will help you to find accommodation nearby. You will either stay in the dormitory in the CERN site, or you can live in France. You can stay in France, I mean. Imagine going to France to sleep in the evening and coming to work in Switzerland tomorrow. Very cool. The reason for this is CERN is located in the border of Switzerland and CERN. The yard of CERN in Switzerland, you can see the other part of the CERN in France. Let me add more things. CERN experience is a really good springboard, and it is a very high jumping springboard. A Google HR told me that she knew lots of people in Google who had experience at CERN. Another thing is that you will have a chance to travel a country like Switzerland. In my opinion, Switzerland is a real heaven. It is the simulation of heaven, I guess. I haven't traveled too much. I only traveled 5 countries except Azerbaijan. But Switzerland is the most beautiful one among them. During the internship, on weekends, you can travel the whole Switzerland, and you can sleep in France in the evenings too. In order to be eligible for the programs, you need to meet some criteria. The undergraduate and graduate students are eligible for the program. PhD students are not eligible. Also, you must complete your third year of study until the summer of 2023. You must be registered as a student during your stay at CERN. Knowing French is also an advantage, but it is not necessary. For example, I don't know French. I know only English, and it is enough. Also, I have lots of acquaintances who got acceptance from CERN internship programs, and they don't know French either. They only know English. Your English level should be good. I mean, you must express yourself easily, and you need to understand the people easily too. Summer student program lasts 8 or 13 weeks. Students from non-member country can stay only 8 weeks. The starting date of the summer student program are different. They usually start in the beginning of the June or in the mid of the June, and you can check this information on the website of the CERN. It's not that these dates are different for each year, and it is only for this year. The next year, the starting dates will change, and deadlines for both program is 12 o'clock at noon on January 30. However, I recommend you to take time to prepare your documents and your recommendation letters, because after you submit your documents, your referees must submit the letters for you, and you need to give time to them to prepare your documents at a very good level. Okay, let's start the most important part of the video. You need 4 documents for both programs: CV, the most updated version of your transcript, your academic transcript, 2 recommendation letters, and 1 motivation letter. The most important document is CV. One of CERN supervisor told me that they only spent 3 minutes per candidate during the selection process. During these 3 minutes, the candidate should make them believe that he or she is the best candidate for the project. Imagine you have only 3 minutes to get the one person's attention. How you can do that? You should try to make your CV very eye-catching. Say few, but say very important things about you in these 3 minutes. A supervisor told me that the best CV told everything about a good candidate. His experience, the projects he or she worked on, GPA, education, and etc. So the important document is CV, and the others are not important like CV. Firstly, they looked at candidates' CV, and if they are in 2 candidates, they start to read their motivational letters. Let me tell you briefly how you should write a CV. Firstly, you need to research on the internet how you can make a perfect CV because font size, font family, the points you mentioned, the approach you mentioned, the points are very important, and you need to make your CV like a professional CV, not a student's CV. My advice is that try to add a summary to your CV, and if you cannot do it professionally, don't try too hard. If you have LinkedIn and GitHub account, so add them, and you need LinkedIn and GitHub account also, because they are really important for an IT student or other student from computer science. Add your university entrance score and your GPA to the education section. Also add your responsibilities of any projects, any related projects. I never add a separate skill section in my CV. This doesn't give enough information about your skills. Instead of this, I add the project and my responsibilities in this project, and at the very end of this section, I add the skills, the tools, and the technologies I needed in this project. Let's compare my version and your version. In your version, you add only like this, for example, Python, very good. And in my version, I add the project and duration of the project, my responsibilities on the project, and the things I did on the project, and I say I use Python on this project. Believe me, my version gives more information about my Python skills than yours, because in your version you only say I know Python in a very good level, and that's it. But in my version I explain I know Python and I can do this type of things in Python, and I did this type of things in Python, for example, in 3 years. Be sure to add certificates section, add scholarships you got, at conferences you visited, you attended, at articles you're published, and add all of them in separate sections. I never add a hobby and interest section because I think they are unnecessary for job and internships. The length of CV should not exceed 2 pages. The ideal one is 1 page, and try to make it simple and readable. I never recommend to use CV templates because this type of templates leaves white spaces, and you can use these white spaces to make your CV short. So I recommend to use your creativeness to make your CV. Okay, let's talk about the second most important document. It is motivational letter. How to write a good motivational letter is the subject of another video, but I tried to talk briefly about it. Your motivational letter should be unique to you. Do not copy other person's motivational letter. Do not find a motivational letter from the internet and do not copy them. You can get ideas how to write a motivational letter, and you can get ideas about the different approaches, but you cannot copy them, because the motivational letter explain your motivation, only your motivation to start a project, to start a job, or to start an internship or something else. It is completely unique to you, so you cannot copy this. At the end, you can ask your friend or your colleague to check your motivational letter. It is good, actually. I highly recommend this, but your recommendation letter should come from your hands. So try to make it yourself. The most important thing is that do not fill your motivational letter with empty sentences. Make sure you will have a story. If you have an argument, you need a story to support this. You need an example to support this. For example, do not tell, I am very hardworking, I am punctual. Instead of this, you can write this. I need X knowledge to complete Y project, and for this I need 2 weeks. But I worked very hard. I slept only 2 hours for a week, and I did this project. I learned this knowledge, and I did this project only in 1 week, and the project was very successful. If you write in this way, the reader will believe in you, and the reader will believe that you are the best candidate, you are the best person for this project, and he or she will believe you have a real motivation for the project, and you didn't copy and paste from the other person's motivational letter. You have a unique letter, and you have a unique motivation, you have a unique story. The other important point is that write a realistic story. Let's look at this. From my childhood, I wanted to become a programmer. When I was 10 years old, my father bought me my first computer, my first laptop. Also, I was fall in love with physics. Then 2 months ago, let's assume that 2 months ago, I watched a video about CERN. Then I think I can contribute to CERN with my extraordinary skills, for example. Nobody will convince this type of story, because everybody can make this type of story. You need to make a realistic, a convincing story. Instead, use this. For example, last year I attended a workshop, and I had a conversation with a former CERN intern. I talked to her, and she talked talked to me about the project she worked on. She told that she learned X knowledge and she used this knowledge on the Z project. Now she works at Google or at Facebook or something else. And I want to be like her. I want to gain this type of knowledge. I want to gain experience on that project too. This type of sentences are much more convincing than the previous story. So do not write this type of unrealistic, dreamy sentences. Mention your real intent to join the program. Also, the length of the motivational letter is so important to try to make it between 1 or 2 pages. It should not be more 2 pages because the length is important. Also, the quality important, and you need try to encourage the reader to read your motivational letter until the end. Motivational letter, like book, is not interesting to read, and the reader will be bored and they will not read until the end. Also, I will add some links to the videos about how to make a good CV, a good motivational letter, which I found really good, in the description below. The third important document is your academic transcript. Actually, you don't have too much things to make it perfect currently, because at least you need 1 or 2 semesters to make perfect your transcript. If your GPA is higher than 90, your chance will increase, but if your GPA is lower than 90, don't worry. It doesn't mean you will fail. You still have a chance if your CV and motivational letter is good. That's CERN supervisor told me that the least important document was the recommendation letters, because everybody asked from somebody who will praise her or him most. So it is really unimportant, but you still need to add your recommendation letter. To be safe, I recommend try to find a recommender who really knows you best. Make sure he or she will not copy paste from the internet or will change the name and surname of other student and send the same letter for you. This person has enough time to write a good recommendation letter for you. The recommender can be your teacher, your professor from the university. Also, it can be a supervisor or mentor from the work. Briefly, you will be evaluated based on the projects you worked before or the classes or courses you joined before. Therefore, try to make sure the project or the course match the projects of CERN, projects of the program. As I said before, CERN focuses on machine learning and AI projects most. If your referee is your economic teacher or from unrelated course, or the supervisor of your social project, the recommendation letter will be useless for the program, for your application. So try to find a person from the relative field and make sure this person will talk you about good things and knows you best. Yes, friends, there are many things can be said about this topic. But as I said before, all of them are the subject of separate videos. Apart from that, the next I want to make video about the project I worked on at CERN, the lectures I joined, the things I learned there, and etc. There are so many topics to talk about in my memory, but you can guide me what I can cover in the next video. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, you can mention them in the comment sections below. Also, you can follow me on the Instagram because I share scholarship and internship opportunities on Instagram. At the same time, if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, you will motivate me to make this type of videos in the future. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Goodbye.